Chef Mike, and I'm back with our venison field to fork demo series that we're working in correlation with the Missouri Department of Conservation. And as you might have seen in the last video, I went through some basic butchery procedures and did some fabrication so that we have our venison fabricated to the specs of certain recipes. And then my plan is to cook my way through the deer from head to tail. So today we're going to be starting with our shoulder. So I cut some beautiful fajita meat from our shoulder roasts up top and some of those flat meats. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be marinating this, very aromatic, pairing that with a nice fresh salsa, and then serving our tortillas. Okay, and I have Sam and Robert here helping me today. They're going to be assisting behind the scenes on some of the cuts, just to kind of expedite things and make sure we're able to create a nice video. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with marinating my meat. Okay, and what I'm doing this in, I have some achiote paste, which is a South American paste. It's made from Annatto seeds, and it gives a very floral flavor, very kind of a South American feel to the flavor of the meats. And I also have my spice blend here, which is a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of garlic, and a little bit of coriander. And what I do with my spices is I always toast them. So I put them in the oven on one of these little sizzle plates for about 3 to 5 minutes. And what that does is that awakens all those oils that are there in the spices and gives them much more dimension of flavor, and just really enhances the dish. So I'm going to give this a pretty copious amount on there. Always a little salt and pepper. Not too much salt. I can always season this a little bit more at the end. I can't take away. So, go ahead and need some gloves here. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be massaging this spice mixture and the Annatto paste gently into the meat. And then I'm going to let this sit at room temperature until we're ready to go ahead and cook it. And as I may have mentioned in our butchery video, I brined this entire deer for wholesomeness sake. And a brine is a basic salt, sugar, water mixture that goes ahead and denatures the proteins, but it also imparts a little bit of salinity and a little bit of sweet to the meat itself. So I'm going to have to recognize that when I talk about salting my meat. A little bit of olive oil in here to loosen that up. Alright, that looks nice. A little bit more spice in there. Venison is a little bit of a pungent meat. It's got some gamey flavor to it. It might be a little musty at times. So a heavy seasoning isn't always a bad thing. You still want to be able to taste the natural proteins that are there, but I'm alright if they're spiced up. Alright, we're going to go ahead and set that aside. And I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how I like my limes cut for my plating portion. Pass them on to one of my sous chefs here, and they're going to go ahead and finish the job for me. So when I cut a lime for lime wedges, I usually top and tail, north to south, okay? And then I'll come in here and I'll cut that in thirds. Okay, so essentially I'm getting 6 nice little wedges out of each line. Okay? And this one I'm just going to use to enhance some of the flavors I already have going on. Salt and a little bit of sugar to kind of offset that tanginess of the lime. I got about a teaspoon of sugar here. I don't even think I'm going to use the whole thing. We can always add more, but we can't take away. Alright, so we got that guy ready to go up there. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead into some of my knife work here. And this is where I'm going to be prepping my ingredients for my fajita veg and my ingredients for my salsa. First, red pepper. This is going to go in our salsa, so I'm going to top and tail. Okay, we're going to reserve this for our fajita veg. And then what I do, top and tail, and then I go ahead and cut that middle out. Just following around. Okay, and I want a nice little dice on this. So I'm going to take these nice flat pieces for my salsa. Okay, we'll save that for fajita. So for the salsa, again, I want a nice, we call them a brunoise in the kitchen, but essentially it is a 1/8 inch square. So we're going to do our best get that pepper to those dimensions. Okay. And the reason I cut it small is because this is just supposed to be an accent in our salsa. It's kind of a flavor at the back end. It also adds a nice little bit of color, which is beautiful. Okay, so I got my nice little brunoise here. And what I'm going to do is put that in my bowl for my salsa. Okay. Red onion, same thing. What I'm going to do is, my red onion, I'm going to go ahead and cut down. Okay, and I want these nice and small again. And I'm only going to do about, I don't know, 1/3 of the onion should be plenty. Okay, so I've cut it down, I turn it on its side, cut down again. Save that for our fajitas as well. That's the beautiful thing about fajitas is all the scrap peppers and onions from the rest of the dish get cut up and sauteed and complete the fajita. Alright, now I'm just go ahead and dicing this onion. Okay, so again, very small. About the same size as the red pepper. I don't want my guests to take a huge bite of onion, just to, overwhelm the rest of the flavors that are going on there. So we cut it nice and small. We let these flavors kind of macerate together. Sam, would you be able to grab a peeler real quick? And I chose to feature a little bit of mango in the salsa. I think the gaminess of the venison needs something sweet and fresh to cut it with. So mango has a little acid in it. It's got a lot of sweetness in it. I think it's a nice flavor that really complement this gamey venison. I need to go ahead and peel this guy there. Go ahead and peel the entire avocado, or mango. Once I get that finished, I come back and I'm going to go ahead and cut around the large seed that's in the middle. save all of my biodegradable waste. We practice composting here. All our biodegradable foods, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. Alright, and then on the mango, like I said, I'm going to try and get a nice small dice. Typically the seed is going to run the same way as the mango. Okay? It's taller this way than it is this way. So just finding how that seed's running is about half the battle with mangoes. I'm able to cut off some nice planks here. Beautiful. Okay. Cut those nice planks, come back and cut them into sticks. Sticks, I go with the dice. Alright, and then that is the last ingredient that needs knife work for my salsa. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass these ingredients over to Robert. He's going to finish it for me. Alright, now on to our fajita veg, which is going to be our pepper scraps, my green pepper, and my onion. Okay, so I'll start with my pepper scraps. So for something like this, I want to keep them a little bit bigger so that I'm able to keep some texture in them. Nice, crunchy, crisp pepper, a little bit of spicy meat. So see how I'm cutting it into nice little strips. Trying to keep everything about the same thickness. Okay, that ensures even cooking. When I have an even surface area, I'm going to end up with an evenly cooked product. Alright, so scraps. Alright, and then with the onion, trim off some of the ends. And with the onion, I want a julienne. And a julienne is going to be nice little slices. So I'm going to go about 1/8 of an inch thick.